This podcast contains mature language. Listener discretion is advised.
Previously on the lost mine of Phandelver. Our lone hero, Val, returned to Phandelver, broken and enraged. After confronting his ally, Sildur Hallwinter, as to his knowledge of the Glassstaff's identity, they decided to return to Tresender Manor in order to rescue Grenton and Kismet, and to end the Red Brand once and for all. Abandoning all faith in his goddess, Val began to channel his magical essence into an echo of its previous form. Devastating the remaining Red Brand forces, they backtracked through town and returned to the hideout. As they entered the complex below the manor, they turned suddenly as a clapping sound issued through the cavern. House of Crit presents The Lost Mine of Phandelver, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons adventure podcast. Chapter 12. Glass and Blood. You hear from the south hallway that led to the rooms where you originally found the bugbears. And stepping out, you see a man of roughly 45 years of age, has a neatly trimmed beard, and wearing a reddish orange cloak and robes, and he has his hood slightly pulled up. It almost kind of looks like the archetypical wizard hat, but it's really part of the traveling cloak that he's wearing, and tucked into the crook of his arm is a quarterstaff made of glass. And flanking him coming out are 2 bugbears.
Oh.
And behind them, you see 4 red brands. The man stops clapping. Well now, I do have to give you gentlemen credit. I really didn't think that you'd make this as easy.
How far away is he?
They are about 40 feet from you right now.
40 feet from me?
Mm-hmm. Because you're at the north end of the cavern right now, and they are at the southern end.
Okay. I will actually take 10 feet forward, walking.
Mm-hmm.
And at the 10-point mark,
mm-hmm.
I'll immediately, right in front of him, create my do invoke duplicity or manifest echo.
Okay.
And get the sword out and try to like hit him right there.
Alrighty. Go ahead, very quickly make your attack roll for me. None of the other ones are reacting in this moment.
Okay. What do you need from me?
I need an attack roll. You're attacking him, correct?
So he's a wizard, squishy, I hope he. So that'll be 12.
12? You see, as the echo comes in, you see him pull the staff, and this pulse rebuffs your echo, pushing the echo back a few feet, and you see your attack hit this force and bounce off. You know, my friend, I wouldn't do that if you ever hope to see your brother again.
He's still alive?
For the moment.
Is he here?
Well, that would spoil the conversation to get the fun out of the way so fast. Exactly who are you?
My name's Val, and I come from Neverwinter. was just hired to bring some materials to town. And I happened to stumble onto this place.
He looks just past you over at Silder. He goes, Silder, now you're hiring errand boys to help you. How far you've fallen from your original position in the Griffin Cavalry. And Silder goes, yeah, retirement wasn't suiting me well. Apparently racketeering's fitting you, Arno. Well, racketeering's such a dirty word. I just like to think of it as business. It's all just business. Much like my business partner has interest in a variety of things. Like, well, he didn't have much use for tiefling. And you see one of the bugbears from behind the wall drags out Kismet's body by the one remaining horn that Kismet has. The rest of his head is a crushed ruin. And he goes, do dispose of that properly for me, will you? And the bugbear just hurls Kismet's body to the edge of the crevasse, and it just rolls in. And Arno goes, would you be so kind? And one of the red brands pulls from a sack this small item, and Arno holds it up. And it is the right hand of a gold dragonborn. And he goes, have you any idea how valuable gold dragon blood is? I really can't thank you enough. What do you do in this moment?
I know he's alive now. He just told me. I don't know how to react.
Right.
I mean, because here. All right, I'm buying time. So
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna try to ask him like, well, how much for his life?
Oh, my friend, from the cut of your clothing, I very much doubt you could afford it. How much have you got, just to humor me?
You said, how are the bugbears like aligned on the sides?
The bugbears are flanking him and they've moved slightly in front of him. The four red brands are kind of in a loose semicircle behind him. Red brands are just kind of
Look at
cracking their
Silder
knuckles.
and see if he's giving me any hints as to what he might want to do, or Gariel.
They, right now, they're looking at you. They're looking back. You, give me a perception check right now, actually.
That's cocked. 8.
8. You see that Silder has his heavy crossbow slung, and you can see his hand ever so slightly moving towards it, but he's still got the torch up in his left hand. However, you hear a faint noise in the crevasse as well. It's you can't quite make it out, but you hear a sound. You're not sure if it's Kismet's body settling at the bottom or what. What do you do?
I try. I'm gonna attack him again.
This is with the echo still there?
Yeah, because it's been technically the echo's still out.
Mm-hmm. The echo's been kind of hovering away.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the echo's been hovering about 10 feet away from him.
All right, so here, 10 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll switch places with him
Okay.
and immediately run towards him, so I can physically like try to like if I know if he did this point to like lift the glass and actually try to hit, I'm actually gonna attempt to go from underneath.
Okay. All right. Well, we are now in initiative. Go ahead and give me an initiative roll, sir.
3.
3. Alrighty. Well, I mean, to be fair, they were standing there kind of looking like they were waiting for you to make a move. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have Val at 3. So first off, what you hear before any of this goes down is this weird sound. Go ahead, very quickly, give me a perception check.
Perception would be 15.
15. It's this slimy, slithering sound. At the same time, you hear this snapping sound of either bone or wood. And first up is this gentleman here. He is going to try to push past his comrades. And as he gets to there, you see something absolutely horrific. You see what at one point in time might have been Kismet's arm, but it's shifted and deformed almost into one of the tentacle shapes that he used to summon, reach out from the pit and try to wrap around the Red Brand's leg.
The hell?
And it hits. And you see the Red Brand ripped off of his feet into the crevasse by this tentacle-like thing.
So I guess everybody's alive?
And you hear the crunch as he hits the bottom. But that's all you hear in this moment. Next up in initiative is
What are you doing?
Gariel. And Gariel will cast Bless.
Nice.
You see her just pull in the magic. And you hear her say, "We need you, Timora. Now more than ever." And just lets it go, and you feel the magic infuse you as you had cast previously before. So you, Silder, and her all have Bless cast on it.
Okay.
And then next,
Adds a 1d4 to attack rolls.
and saving throws.
And same throws.
And so we have this bugbear right here is going to step up to you.
Do we have something to like show where the Echo Knight is?
That is a good question. Let me see what we have.
We're looking through this.
You know what? We'll use the DM's D4
Okay.
to signify where the echo is.
So switch places.
You
And
did.
then all right.
So then Bugbear is going to take a swing at you, and that is a 14 to hit.
It does not hit.
You bring the shield up, and this Morning Star just smashes right into it. And as it's pulling away, you can see little bits of red, dried blood, and maybe a fleck of purple in it.
And do I recognize this bugbear as the one that like either let it go and Kismet as we were running, or my brother?
If this wasn't the bugbear that did Kismet in, it's most certainly the weapon.
Okay.
And then we are now to the other one, who is going to try to step up to you and is going to try to shove you with a melee attack. Huh. Not with a natural 2. So he tries to, with his Morningstar coming around the corner very awkwardly, even though he's this large, muscular form, tries to push you over. He's just not able to get any leverage whatsoever. You continue to bring the shield around to buffet him away. And this red brand here is going to take a little defensive position. Unsure of what to do, the bugbear's jumping at you, but him having just seen his friend disappear, he's got his sword out and he's just looking around wide-eyed. And Glassstaff is going to take a step back here. And he is going to say, well, we don't need any help in this fight. And he goes to cast Magic Missile at Sister Gariel. Which automatically hits.
Wait. Don't. Is there something? I don't know if it's in this level or not. That actually allows me to use my echo to like take the hit instead, like be right on the way.
I don't think at level 3.
Okay, that's a level 7, I think, or 15.
That is a level 10.
Okay.
Echo Knight ability, actually.
Okay, nothing I can do on that. That thing just hits straight up, correct?
It does 3 darts issue forth from his hand. Let me verify to make sure this is correct. I have not played a wizard in forever, folks. There we go. They do 1d4. He's casting at first level. They do 3 of them. Do 1d4 plus 1 damage automatically. 3, 7. That is 12 points of damage to Gariel. You see these 3 magical darts almost issue forth out of Glassstaff's hand, all 3 of them striking her. She reels in pain for a moment and looks up, and you see for the first time on her soft featured face, you see anger. And we are to Sildur, who in that moment drops his torch, brings up the heavy crossbow, and fires directly at Glassstaff. Unfortunately going very wide with a 7. You see the bolt just dig right into the rock wall behind him. Glassstaff looks up and goes, Age is not becoming your aim. And Sildur goes, and your mother too. And so now...
Where was it? Right here?
Yes. And this gentleman is going to run here, looks down, screams, and starts running back in this direction. But as he does, you see a much more amorphous, fleshy tentacle whip out from the crevasse at him as he's trying to run. Oh, that hits. And you see he is yanked into the crevasse as well. But you can't quite see what's down there yet.
But there's enough light for me to see like the same color tentacle. Maybe?
Yes, it's got a weird raw flesh kind of pigment to it that has these streaks of purple in it.
Okay.
And
I'm too worried about something else.
This gentleman here is going to run, and one more tentacle will whip out.
Oh my god.
But he sidesteps it as it slaps onto the ground where he was and recoils back almost like a whip. And now you see, slowly you start to see the shape rise out of the crevasse. And it's this hideous malformation of eyes and mouths and horns with these pseudopodish tentacles pulling itself up this hanging rope, makeshift ladder from the bridge. And there's several half faces floating around in this blob of flesh. And you see one of them is the half ruined face of Kismet.
There's multiple faces?
Yes, there is.
Oh my god.
As what used to be your ally Kismet, with two of the red brands wrapped up in this thing's form. And it takes one bite with one of its huge gaping mouths, critically hitting one of them, and you just see the mouth just snap this red brand in half as what's left of him just falls into the crevasse as it's slowly dragging its shape up. And we are to Val.
Let's see if I can actually look. I can move 30 feet my Echo Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Right towards here.
Yep, as a bonus action, you can reposition it.
Not even bonus.
Oh, that's right. It's just a regular. It's just a thing it does. So you see it shimmer again, and then immediately just appear.
So as it happens to do that, I will actually attempt one more time. Oh no, I can't because I used 15 of my movement. So yes, I can.
Mm-hmm.
I will actually use my movement to switch with him.
To switch with it.
Yep.
All right. The two of you
I want to make this personal, like
vibrate almost, and then immediately just whisk around.
So that's. I only have 50 movement left, but I'm right there on the side
You
of.
are right in front of
Wow.
Iarno
This is insane. Dude.
Glassstaff's face with this horror climbing up the crevasse behind you.
I'm gonna assume with my life somewhat that this horror might actually be in our side. So I'm gonna focus on what's the matter at hand.
Okay.
Is there any space on the other side of Iarno? Like I can't see behind him.
Just a little bit. There's just enough to wiggle in. It would cost you. Moving through him would count as difficult terrain, so it would take you
10 feet.
15 feet to get to the other side. You do still have 15 feet remaining.
I will do that.
Alrighty.
Just in case, you know.
Okay, you are now here.
So the way I imagine is like I actually like attempt to go right underneath, and then I will use like the sword going upward.
So
is he still holding the hand?
The hand, he still has the hand in his left hand. He has not dropped it, but he's still holding the staff in the other one. And he kind of raises the staff to like ward you off as you duck under and then cut upward with the sword.
I want to take his hand, if possible.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll here.
7.
7, unfortunately not enough. As you come up with the swing, he just slides out of the way.
You know what? I don't want to do this. I feel compelled to actually use action search.
All right, so you draw the remaining amount of magic or essence that you still have in you, and just push that forward. You move at lightning speed. What do you do with this action?
Since I went up and I got repelled, correct?
No, you just missed.
I just missed?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna attempt to... Can I flip the sword and try to go into him?
So you do the Winter Soldier knife directional move?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me another attack roll.
That's better. That's 19.
19. And... let's see what he's got here.
I'm eyeing that hand that he's still holding. I'm so pissed. I just want to grab it and like... I don't know, just run with it.
All right, no, that connects. Let me see the damage.
Okay, wow. I was not expecting that even.
Not only do you exceed that, but you exceed what he could do with any magic.
Okay, so that's Longsword's 1d8, correct?
Mm-hmm. It is a 1d8 plus 4.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. That's
Plus
12.
4, 12.
That's 12 points of damage, and you feel, as you make the connection, you feel the sword not come alive, but drive the strike truer. And you instinctively realize this is a +1 magic sword. It does 1 additional point of damage. So that's a total of 13 to Glassstaff.
Jesus!
So you bury it, you come up, you miss, you drive it in, it just digs right into his shoulder. You see him try with all of his strength to try to hold on to his staff. Requiring both hands, he drops Grenton's hand to hold on to his magic staff, but he seems very, very hurt in this moment.
Wow. Alright. Jesus. That's a +1.
It is a +1 magic sword. Alright, you got any tricks up your sleeve, Val?
Alright, so I moved. I switched. So I moved towards the other side. I did action surge attempt. I don't have a bonus action that I should use right now, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and that's pretty much it.
Okay. You see him spit some blood onto his hands as he tries to hold himself upright. But we are now to this red brand caught in the mass of tentacles and mouths as he tries to wiggle his way out. But he does not.
Jesus.
And
I wonder if you can hear the crunches of like. It just sounds like a slosh, right? When that thing like moves.
yeah, it's this slimy, just moving. And you see, the tentacles kind of move, because there's one that's got one wrapped up, and there's another tentacle that's now free, because it no longer has the one that it bit in half. And this one tentacle it's as if someone had taken Kismet's arm and stretched it out like Play-Doh. And as it moves, a couple times it moves, you hear whatever few bones might have been left in it snap in order to continue to articulate.
Okay. Very graphic. Love it. And now my character might be wondering if Kismet was that old, like, the whole time.
One of the great mysteries of life.
Uh-huh.
All right, but we are now to Sister Gariel, who is staring in abject horror at this thing, and she is going to cast Guiding Bolt at the creature. We will do that with a second level spell slot instead of the first.
Okay.
Because she's just staring wide-eyed in disgust and horror at this thing. And that is a 19 to hit. That easily hits it. So this does 5d6 radiant damage to the target. Oh, she's not rolling great though. That's 10, 16, 1, and that is 24 points of damage as it slams into this creature, and you see the impact light up in this burst of gold, white gold energy start to envelop it, and it has now all of a sudden this kind of shimmer to it, almost as if it sparkles.
You know, I forgot to use the bless. That's interesting.
You did. You still have a bless on deck.
Yeah. I mean, it's every time.
No, it's the one time. It's until she drops concentration, but you get to cast that in that one time.
It lasts a whole minute. Even
It does last. It lasts until you use it. Oh no, I'm sorry. You are correct. It does every single time.
Cleric of the Force here. No. Yeah, it's every attack roll itself. You can actually roll 1d4 until. Is it really concentration? It is, right?
Yes, she is currently concentrating on that spell.
So it's 10 turns as long as she doesn't get hit and then loses concentration.
Yep. So that is still active.
Yeah, I just forgot to do it in the other turn. So
Happens to the best of us. All right, so that was Gariel's turn. And so we are at 2. Well, actually, we are not to him. He is in pieces. So we are at this creature here. The bugbear is going to push past his friends and run up to the big nasty.
I get an attack of opportunity
You do.
with my Echo Knight. So
Let's see what you got.
that's I mean, does it use the same stat as a sword? Because it's technically all the same things to hit, right?
It uses your weaponry.
So it'll be. So is it +1 to attack roll or +1 damage?
Both.
So in that case, it would actually be 9. Still a 9.
9 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, is insufficient to hit the bugbear.
That's fine.
But he is going to step up to the horror show. And just narrowly does not crit. Morningstar certainly makes contact for 12 damage. As he hits, he sees part of the wet, pulsating flesh get torn off from the force of the Morningstar.
Jesus.
But this thing just continues to lurch forward. And we are to this guy's turn. He's going to turn on you and stab at you with his short sword. The first hit is a 14
Nope, does not hit.
and a 19.
19 does hit.
Does hit for 7 damage as you feel the short sword bite into the small of your back.
Okay.
And now for the glass staff. He is going to cast. What have we here? Fun times when you're running an ungodly amount of characters. He's going to cast as a bonus action Misty Step.
Oh.
And he is going to take a page out of your book and bamf. 1, 2, 3, 6. He is going to bamf over to here. And he is not going to do anything else but try to hide behind that pillar.
Did I see him get there?
You saw where he disappeared to, moved here, and on your turn you can check to see if you see him. Alright, so we are now to Silder, who is going to actually see if he can spot him. No, he has no idea where the glass staff ended up, but he is going to shoot at the big nasty, and that is going to hit for 5 damage. Now this thing. Oh, there are plenty in range of him. He's going to use 2 of its legendary actions. And you see this, the form of it, all of it start to rapidly pulsate, vibrate, and all of a sudden you see these few arcs of electricity spark around it, and all of a sudden this pulse of electricity issues out of it, very similar to what you saw every once in a while from Kismet's tentacle. Only much, much greater. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Your Echo is just out of, no, well, because he's right here. Your Echo also has to make a dexterity saving throw.
He doesn't make it, I believe. I got 4.
4? That is a fail. All right, so saves, fails. All right, and that is 2d8 lightning damage.
I mean, he's gone. He has 1 HP.
All right, so the Echo is blasted by the lightning and winks out. And that bugbear takes 6 damage. That is number 4. He takes 6 damage. And then those other 2 take 12. You see that pulse. This one here, the lightning hits it and you see him just arc. You see just the sparks in his eyes as his whole body just shakes. He drops the sword and just collapses. And now it is its turn. So it is going to take a bite out of the red brand it has wrapped up. Oh, that's going to hit.
It's scary.
I don't know, I think he looked kind of fun. 46 damage.
What did you just say?
4d6 damage.
Oh, still, but I thought you said 46 damage. So I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What? What? As he bites this one in half, and you see his upper half just gets swallowed in as this mouth just expands out, chomps in, just pulls in the upper half of what was the red brand with his pelvis and legs just clattering into the pit. And so it will move
Oh
forward.
god. What's his reach? Wait, question.
Uh-huh.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how he attacked the other people,
Mm-hmm.
does it look like he has 10 feet range?
It looked like the tentacles have 10 feet of range.
Okay, second question.
Mm-hmm.
Glass Step, Misty Step, it appear on the other side, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just so that thing might have not have seen him. Okay.
It's had the as it's getting closer to you, you see its eyes are unfocused and it's just looking everywhere, but there's so many eyes and mouths all over this. It's a pile of flesh, eyes, and teeth. And so it uses bite. It still has 2 tentacles. Let's see which ones it will go for. Let's re-roll. I already rolled that one. I'd stop rolling the same 2 numbers over and over again. There we go. All right, it is going to reach out. 1 tentacle is coming at you. 1 is coming at this bugbear here. And I take it a 9 does not hit your AC.
No.
You see the tentacle whip out at you. In this moment, you see that it has a kind of a flat part with suckers, just like the tentacle that Kismet with someone with these little claws inside of each of the suction cups, and you bring up the shield and it slaps onto it, and you just are pushed back a little bit from the force of the blow. The other tentacle goes whipping at the bugbear, but hits him and wraps him up, but he can't get any closer to it, so we're not going to move him any. Your turn, Val.
All right, so I think his tentacles have 10 feet reach.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's still 5 feet from it, right?
Correct.
Is there any 15 feet from me that does not fall within the range of these tentacles?
From where you're standing right now?
Yeah, 15 feet.
That way.
I didn't want to actually. Okay. Did I see where Glass F1?
Go ahead, very quickly, give me a perception check.
Oh, yeah, that's actually 22.
22, yes, you see him crouching right there behind the pillar, just looking back and forth, unsure what to do.
I will actually go ahead and attempt to bring out my Econite once more.
Alrighty.
5, 10, 15, so right here.
Okay.
And I will have it attempt to move 15 feet more.
Okay.
Actually, On this side, I apologize.
Okay, summoning it
5, 10, 15. So it'll fall kind of like right here.
right there. Okay.
Yeah, but-
so it's in this space right here.
Well, it has to be 15 feet, so right there.
Okay.
Then I'll have it attempt to go 15 feet more right here,
Okay.
somewhere in this area.
Okay, so your echo appears here.
It does. So my question would be, as I'm trying to, it can move.
Mm-hmm.
So 30 feet from where it actually comes up to.
Correct.
And I would like to attempt to have him cross the bridge 30
Okay.
feet towards where Glassstaff is.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check for it since it uses your stats.
Okay. That will be a 6.
A 6. It unfortunately is unable to clear the distance, landing in here, and as it goes to impact into the wall, it winks out from the damage.
Okay. That goes my bonus action and
Okay.
my everything. So I will attempt to. I still have 30 feet movement. I can't do anything about Glassstaff. There's still a red brand right beside me, right?
Correct.
Can I attempt to move past him, behind him?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me an athletics check to try to shove past him.
That's a 20.
A 20, that certainly beats his 13.
Yep, be 22.
22? Yeah, you easily shove past him, pushing him up against the wall as you run past.
So I'll be right behind him in the stairs,
Uh-huh.
and I will attempt to attack that red brand.
All right, given that, I will give you advantage on this attack since you just shoved him against the wall.
Is that cock?
Nope, that looks flat to me.
Looks flat.
Mm-hmm. But you have advantage.
All right, so let's try again. Yeah, the other one. So that will
I think I know what that is.
It's 19.
19, more than enough to hit.
Okay, so that's 1d8. Well, actually, it's 20 total modified with that plus 1. And that'll do 6 damage.
6 damage, all right. He is bleeding profusely, looking very, very hurt. This big old gash you opened up across his back with that swing.
I'm gonna remain there.
All right.
But my plan would be just to let you know. I'm gonna try to backtrack through the rooms, running as quickly as possible to come back up
Okay.
to this side.
All right. So we are back to this bugbear right here. It's going to try to hammer again on this thing with a crit. Wow. Bugbear's getting it.
Who's trying to crit who?
The bugbear is attacking the giant Kismet flesh monster.
Oh my god.
And that is 19 points of damage.
Whoa.
It smashes into one of this thing's large bulbous eyes. You see this yellow viscous fluid spill out from the impact.
Oof.
But the creature itself is still writhing and chomping at the air. And this bugbear is seeing that. Gonna want to take off running this direction. And it gets to there as a tentacle whips out. It's gonna use its reaction to try to grab it. And it does. Wrapping around the waist, dragging it back to it 10 feet. All right.
Wow.
We are to Gariel. And Gariel is... What is Sister Gariel going to do? So many options.
If only my brother was here.
He's here in spirit. Alright, she is going to cast Cure Wounds on herself at first level. And that heals her back up. So we are, and then she is going to move to this position right here. And we are to this bugbear who's going to try to aid its friend. It's going to run alongside and try to rip the tentacle off of it. But it cannot grab any purchase. This thing is just wiggling and slimy, and the bugbear's grasping at it and unable to get it. And then Glassstaff is going to step around the corner. He says, "Well, Silder, it's been fun, but I have places to be. And you look like you have a new friend to play with." And he's going to cast Magic Missile. And that is 4, 5, and 10. That's 13 points of damage to Silder. So you see that all 3 bolts just blast in the Silder's side. You see blood start coming out from his armor as the force of the impact dents the small bands that hold the plate mail or the chain mail together. He drops to one knee, and you see a little trickle of blood come out the corner of his mouth. He goes, "Oh, you bastard!" And it's Silder's turn. He's going to wheel on Glassstaff with the crossbow.
Critical, please.
Unfortunately, misses with a 10. Hits the side of the pillar here, ricocheting off. And we are to the giant pile of horrors' turn.
Trying to get away from.
It is going to first try to wrap this one up with a tentacle. It is unable to, not with a natural 6. But it is going to try to bite the other one, and it does. For 19 points of damage. You see the teeth just sink into this bugbear. You see this torrent of blood come out. The bugbear is still alive and just starts hammering on this thing, trying to pry the mouth off of itself, but you just start seeing blood start pouring out of the bugbear's mouth as well. Val, what do you do?
I see there's this guy in front of me, so I'll go ahead and bonus action. I'm gonna bring the Echo Knife one more time.
Okay.
But this time I'm actually gonna put it 5, 10, 15, so right here.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna use it as a distraction right now, so I'm gonna attack the red brand that's right in front of me.
Okay. So you pull the Echo out. The red brand looks at you, looks back, and again sees the spectral you, looks back at you frightened. See it.
That is, Jesus, 18?
18 is plenty.
And that would be 9 damage?
9 damage. You take the sword, you come up, and just, and his head just rolls right off of his shoulders.
Wow.
The body just slumps out of the way.
Okay, so I did my bonus action. I attacked. And I'm actually gonna have him attempt one more time. Like, do 15 feet more. Right
Okay.
there. Just, and wait to see.
Okay. It's only 25 feet from you.
Oh, is it?
Alrighty. And as it moves out of the range there, the tentacle comes whipping towards it and misses.
As soon as that happens, it's actually an action for me to switch with it, or no? Says,
I believe that
That's
only costs
a bonus
you.
action.
That is a bonus action?
yeah.
Okay.
So I already used it, so
Yep.
I'm actually gonna leave it right there.
Alrighty. It's now out of the creature's reach as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And it's within 30 feet of me, so to, keep it up.
So it's still there.
Yeah. Alright, so that's it for my turn.
Alrighty, we have back to the flailing, bleeding bugbear. It's going to try to smash this thing in the face. Connects. Ooh, for 11 points of damage as it brings the Morning Star back into this thing's horrifying face, and you can see parts of its flesh are starting to collapse. It's having a hard time holding itself together, but it's still flailing. The jaws are still snapping all over the place. And we are to Gariel. Gariel's going to rush forward and cast Cure Wounds at second level on Silder. For a total of 12 hit points. You see the bleeding side of Silder sort of close up a little bit. You see the fire come back into his eyes. We are to this bugbear here. So I'm going to continue fighting the horror show. That is going to be a severe miss. And we are now to Glassstaff. And Glassstaff is going to try one more time. He is going to cast Magic Missile at Gariel.
Jeez, this guy.
And 5, 7, has 8 points of damage. Slams into Gariel.
This reminds me of another fight that we had in a certain cave at some point.
Well, history doesn't necessarily repeat, but it sure does rhyme. You see her grit her teeth, staring angrily back at the Glassstaff. And we are to Silder. Silder stands up, takes his time, aims his shot with the crossbow at the Glassstaff. And that is a modified 20 to hit.
Yes, go Silder!
And we see Glassstaff pulling his hand back from casting Magic Missile. He has this moment of frustration as Gariel heals him. And all of a sudden his eyes go wide in this moment of surprise. And you can see just from around the corner from your sight line, you see him bring his hand up to his neck as there's a bolt right through his throat. As he tries to pull it out a little bit, it continues to fall back and drops. You just see Silder just slowly lowering the crossbow. And spits.
That kind of pisses me off, actually. I wanted to be the one.
Alright, well, we are now back to the happy fun pile.
Happy fun pile.
And it is going to...
Okay.
You see the bugbear that it's got wrapped up. You see the bugbear, the tentacle sort of pull it, outstretch the bugbear away from it a little bit as this massive maw, almost half its body, opens up and it just swallows the bugbear.
Just swallow him whole.
Whole.
A bugbear.
Yes. You can see this thing is a good 8 feet wide, about 12 feet tall. This massive, just roiling form of flesh, mouths, and eyes. And it is going to make another tentacle attack. Not at him, he's gone. At the other one, and that will wrap it up and to start to constrict. For 7 damage. As you see the bugbear just as these tentacles just crushing it around the waist.
So Kismet from beyond the grave is just taking care of all the people that I want.
Or whatever was powering Kismet. But we're to Val.
Echo Knight goes towards him 10 feet. And he's gonna attack.
Alrighty.
Like, I'm just, like, there's not much I can do. That's 20, modified.
Oh, that certainly hits.
And that's 9 hits. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. As your echo thrusts its sword into the thing, it pulls out, you start to see the flesh start to quiver and fall apart as this form. It's still moving and undulating, but you see these seams beginning to open up in its form. Whatever energy is powering this thing is struggling to keep this form together.
Can I yell at it, like, real quick and be like, Kismet, is that you?
And you see moving around in its form the half of a face that used to be Kismet, and the eye opens, and it's this yellow, glowing amber eye with a black vertical slit in it. And the mouth opens up and he goes, "The servant has failed. You will all join."
Have I noticed that everybody that keeps getting swallowed keeps appearing as the faces?
Make an insight check real quick.
Inside 18.
18. Yes.
Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Last question. And is the bugbear that's still attached by the tentacle the one that has the amulet, or was that one swallowed? Or
You mean
never?
the eye patch?
The eye patch? Oh, was it an eye patch?
It was an
thing?
eye patch. It was a jeweled eye patch.
A jewel eye patch. Is
Yes.
that?
No, both of them have no eye patches. They had both their eyes.
So that could be the one that left. All right. So already did the bonus action to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
I attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I yelled for Kismet to see if it's him. That's pretty much it. I
Okay.
want to keep my distance from him. Actually, can I move one step back?
Okay. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty. And we are.
Yeah, I'm still within. It's still within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
No, this forgive me now.
We are back to Gary L. She is going to point at the thing after hearing this voice echo through. She goes, "Oh, Timor cannot allow whatever this is." Points and does the snap that you're used to seeing for her sacred flame. And this thing has to make a saving throw. But it makes it with a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
You see the light arc, and you see this dark energy kind of with the crackling of the electricity come out of it and meet this radiant blast that tried to hit it, and they just null. And Gariel's like, "Oh, that's not good." And this bugbear is going to try to break free. Possibly. Let's see if the thing holds on. It doesn't. This bugbear breaks free and is going to take off running. And see if the attack of opportunity from a tentacle flailing out. No, it misses, and you see this bugbear disappear down this direction.
He's gonna hit probably a branch when he gets to the end.
Possibly. Possibly.
Maybe.
All right. And so we are to Silder. He's going to line up a shot at the horrifying thing. That will certainly connect. That's a 23 for 8 points of damage. All right, and it is the horror's turn. With its first attack, it's going to lash out a tentacle at your Echo. I'm guessing a 5 is not going to hit.
No.
All right.
Wait, to quote my brother. No.
No. All right, and it is going to push past.
Oh, this is disgusting.
As you see your Echo kind of fade into it as it just lumbers, almost rolling its body through, and you see the Echo mimic your face going. And it's going to lash out at Silder.
No.
And it connects,
No.
pulling Silder towards it.
Ugh.
Val, your turn.
Can I move the echo? Well, okay. I'll move closer so I can see. 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'm kind of behind half cover with that column, right?
Yeah, about
From
that, yeah.
this half of the
Yeah,
time.
the way I drew it, I'll give you half.
Okay, so can I move this 5, 10, 15, 20 right here and attempt to cut that tentacle?
Moving through that creature would be difficult terrain. You wouldn't be able to move all the way through it. It is a large creature. It would require 20 feet of movement to make it all the way through.
So, okay, I cannot. All right, so how much would it take for me
20. How much would it take? What? I'm sorry.
to move through him?
It would take 20 feet of movement for your echo to move through it, since moving through this creature would count as difficult terrain.
Well, I got 30 on it.
You have 30 on it?
Yeah, he moves 30 feet.
Oh, that's right. He moves independent, so yes, he can.
So, right here, and I will attempt to cut the tentacle.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
That's 16.
16. That's enough to hit, but not enough possibly to sever. You make contact. Let's see the damage.
That's 11.
11. You cut most of the way through it, but it still has him, although it's not as strong as it was. You can see it starting to loosen on him, but it still has him grappled.
Okay, that's pretty much all I can do.
All right. We are to Gariel. She is going to do Sacred Flame again. Actually, the thing has to roll a Wisdom saving throw. And it succeeds again. Right. And he is gone from sightline. And we are to Silder, who's going to try to break free of the grip. Oh, he is nice pulling on the tentacle, but he's just not able to get purchase on this thing. It is to the horror. And it makes an attack.
How many people am I gonna lose in 24 hours?
A 10 is insufficient to hit Silder's armor class.
Okay.
You see the jaws open up and try to reach out and clamp in. Silder take, with both of his feet outstretched, jams his feet into what would be this thing's gums. He's kind of like Looney Tunes style, almost prying this thing open, forcing it. The tentacle is going to try to make an attack at advantage. That is going to hit as the tentacle starts to crush Silder for 5 damage. You hear him cry out in pain as he's still fighting this thing off, but he's still alive and active. We're back to Val.
I'll do the same action. So it's trying to free him. 8.
8. Total of 8?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, hits, and just the rubberiness of this, it kind of bounces off, unable to get a bite into the creature's form.
My character is getting desperate. Val's getting desperate. I'll continue to round to this area right here, maintaining my distance still.
Okay.
But like trying to keep so I can have visual of everything as much as possible.
All right.
But wait, am I too far? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
You are just within range.
Okay.
Okay. So we are to Gariel.
God. Hit him already.
And it has to make another wisdom saving throw as she points at it. And that fails. As you see this another radiant strike hit it. You see part of its body burst out with this radiant energy as it's almost starting to peel almost in half, and you see this putrid, slimy, fatty interior just oozing through. It is still snapping though, it is still moving. And we are to Silder, who's going to try to break that grapple. And just pushes with everything he's got, tearing the tentacle off with him as he goes, rolling out of the way. And it is its turn. it is going to take a bite at your echo. That is an 18 to hit. As one of the mouths shoots out like 2 feet extruding out.
Can I flip him off with the echo?
Your echo just goes. And right as the jaws close, the echo just. The teeth chomp onto nothing. It is going to fire, however, a tentacle at Sister Gariel.
Oh god.
That is going to hit as it wraps her up, pulling her towards the creature. We are at Val.
Oh god. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna keep my distance, so 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna put right here the Econite.
How many times can you summon him?
It's actually not fairly. Let's take a look.
I was about to say.
As for the magic of production, page 183.
I was about to say, folks, in the middle of your game, if you have to pull out the rule books, pull out the rule books. They're there for a reason.
It says you can use a bonus action to magically manifest an echo of yourself in an occupied space you can see within 15 feet of you. This echo is a magical, translucent gray image of you and that lasts until it is destroyed. So you dismiss it as a bonus action, until you dismiss it, until you manifest another echo or until you're incapacitated.
I guess you can just keep pulling this thing out then.
Yep. It's again 14 plus proficiency bonus, has 1 hit point, immunity to all conditions, and uses my saving throws. So technically, I don't have to get close to it.
Technically speaking. Yeah. Has a unlimited number of charges. Alright.
As I'm like...
So you manifest this echo again.
And it's gonna attempt to attack.
Okay. Let's see the attack roll.
That's 19.
That is enough to hit.
18, I apologize.
18 is still enough to hit.
10 damage.
10 damage. So your echo drives the sword into its form. You, in the back, feel 2 hands, warm, touch your shoulders, and say, I still believe in you. We will end this together. And you are driven forward into your echo as you finish driving the blade all the way through. Your arm sinks into this and you hit something that's pulsing rapidly on the inside. You just continue to drive the sword through it and you feel it rupture from the force of the blow. Your arm is all the way through this thing. You see this shriek issue out throughout the cavern as all of the mouths on this thing suddenly scream in unison. All of the eyes flare and this thing quivers and just falls apart like watching clay melting under a hot light as these mouths just snapping at nothing, the eyes looking everywhere as it just melts into just ichor and vile on the ground. Sister Ariel, as the tentacle just collapses, she impacts on the ground as this ooze pools out, leaving you standing there, arm and sword outstretched.
I don't know how I feel about Timora being there for me during this and not when I needed her.
Thank you for listening to House of Crit Presents The Lost Mine of Phandelver. Join us next time as the adventure continues. If you like our content, please like, share, and comment. For more House of Crit, you can join us at houseofcrit.com and on our YouTube channel. Click on the links in the description below for more Dungeons & Dragons content, and be sure to check out Behind the Screen, a roundtable discussion featuring the Dungeon Masters of House of Crit.